Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today we're digging into something, well, truly monumental. It's a groundbreaking initiative set to reshape AI entrepreneurship and really economic development across the global south. We're talking Africa, Latin America, developing Asia, a huge part of the world, our mission today, to unpack the EON AI Wealth Weaver Alliance. It's this $60 billion partnership, and their vision is pretty bold, building the capital of the global south AI economy. So we'll look at the structure, the money side, how they plan to find and grow entrepreneurs. What could this all mean for global innovation, especially in emerging economies? Let's get into it.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Just the sheer scale and the philosophy behind it. This EON Wealth Weaver Alliance, it's a $60 billion model aimed at creating, well, the most comprehensive entrepreneurship ecosystem for the Global South. And it's not just tech for tech's sake. They're tackling a pretty stark reality. 92% of future humanity is projected to live in the Global South. Yet most innovation ecosystems, the big money, the resources, they're still concentrated in those established hubs.
That's a really powerful point. So the goal isn't just launching businesses, is it? They're talking about distributed prosperity rather than increased inequality. That sounds ambitious.
Exactly.
And the network they want to build, 50-plus national partnerships, over 500 university links, and wow, 10,000-plus entrepreneur graduates in 5 years. That feels like it could really shift where innovation happens.
It really could. And connecting that to the bigger strategy, the alliance is quite explicit. It aims to position Saudi Arabia as the, quote, undisputed leader of Global South innovation. The global HQ in Riyadh isn't just a building. It's the strategic and physical capital for this whole AI economy. They describe it as a world-class innovation center and a premier scaling facility. It's a very deliberate anchor.
Okay, so Riyadh as the central hub, more than just symbolic then. How does that physical presence, being this nexus for government, business, investment, how does that actually help these startups scale up? Especially with that connection to Saudi Arabia's, $100 billion fund?
Yeah, that connection is critical. The Riyadh hub is the direct channel. It's where government policy meets private capital. It's got high-performance computing. And crucially, yes, it's the gateway for investment, straight from that massive Saudi fund into the alliance's companies. Combine that fund access with these elite sort of 6 to 12-month scaling programs, it basically de-risks the ventures significantly, helps them leapfrog those early hurdles startups usually face, especially with capital and market access in emerging economies.
It's a huge vision, but coordinating something this vast across so many countries, how does it actually work on the ground? I read something about a three-tier architecture. How do those parts fit together?
Right, that's a key question. How do you get both national reach and global impact? Okay, so Tier 1 is the exclusive national alliance partners. These are direct government partnerships, and there's significant revenue sharing involved, 50% of investment fees, equity stakes. This gives nations, real control, territorial protection, and policy influence over their own AI development. Ensures they're deeply bought in.
Okay, so the countries themselves are proper partners. Vested interest, got it. What's the next layer down?
Tier 2 is the Wealth Weaver Centers. Think of these as regional excellence hubs. They run the intensive entrepreneur programs, provide mentorship, access to advanced AI development tools, and critically, they offer this thing called a 300-agent AI workforce system. Plus, 70% of the revenue stays local at these centers.
Hold on, a 300-agent AI workforce? That sounds intriguing. What exactly is that?
Yeah, it's quite innovative. Imagine it as a highly specialized, scalable virtual team of AI models and tools. Each agent automates specific complex tasks. Could be coding, data analysis, market research, even content creation. So it essentially gives a small startup the kind of operational power a much bigger company might have. Cuts down initial costs, speeds up development for their AI solutions. It's a huge leg up.
Okay, that makes sense. A force multiplier almost. And the third tier, connecting to the grassroots.
That would be the university incubators. These are embedded right on university campuses. They're the talent pipeline, basically. Identifying, screening, doing initial development for the next wave of AI entrepreneurs. They offer foundational training, send candidates up to the Wealth Weaver centers, and the universities get a specific revenue share too.
All right, this whole thing is pegged at creating $60 billion in value. That's a massive number. How are they planning to generate the capital to build and sustain this whole ecosystem? There's a 5-pillar revenue architecture mentioned.
Precisely. It's a diversified approach designed to capture value all along the chain and, importantly, make it self-sustaining. So, Pillar 1 is alliance fees. This brings in immediate capital. National charter fees are $300,000 per country. University partnerships are also $300,000 each. It's designed as a sort of self-funding engine right from the get-go.
Okay, so that provides the initial seed money. Looking across all 5 pillars, though, does one stand out? Maybe one that's most crucial for hitting that $60 billion target, or perhaps the most revolutionary part of the financial model?
Well, they're all designed to work together, but Pillar 3, the startup equity portfolio, that's arguably the powerhouse and the most transformative. The alliance plans to take a standard 15% equity stake in the ventures it supports. That breaks down as 10% for EON itself and 5% for the national partner country. They're targeting over 1,000 startups in 5 years. And the projected portfolio value, potentially over $100 billion. So this isn't just about fees, it's about building a huge asset base of successful new companies.
Wow, a $100 billion portfolio opportunity from these startups. That really underlines the ambition here. Staggering potential. What about the other pillars supporting this?
Right. So Pillar 2 is Wealth Weaver Center revenue. Each center is a $7.5 million investment itself, and the alliance gets a 30% share of the revenue they generate. Then Pillar 4 is revenue sharing. This is passive income from the successful startups later on. They get a 20+% share from operations, depending on support level, and that's split 50-50 between EON and the national partners. And finally, Pillar 5, investment facilitation. They earn a 6% fee for securing funding. This directly links their startups to that $100 billion Saudi fund, plus other international networks. The goal here is deploying $10 billion through this network in the next decade. That's serious capital injection.
Okay, beyond the structure and the money, the absolute core here seems to be finding and nurturing the right people, the entrepreneurs. How do they actually identify these future innovators from, well, such a huge population base?
They have a proprietary system for this called the Wayfinder Selection System. It's described as a scientific multi-stage process to systematically find, pick, and develop these elite AI founders. Stage 1 happens at the university-level screening. Basic assessment by university staff, just an initial filter. Then Stage 2 is advanced assessment. Shortlisted candidates face AI-powered evaluations, practical problem-solving tests, team collaboration exercises.
AI-powered evaluation for picking entrepreneurs. That's definitely cutting edge. Can you give us a bit more insight into how that AI assessment actually works? What's it looking for that, say, a traditional interview might miss?
Yeah, it goes beyond just looking at a CV or how someone answers questions. The AI analyzes how candidates tackle complex, maybe ambiguous problems. It looks at their adaptability, collaboration styles, even things like cognitive resilience under pressure. It can spot patterns in thinking and decision-making that often signal a strong entrepreneurial mindset. Things traditional methods might overlook. It's trying to find that raw potential.
Interesting, a deeper look.
Exactly. Then after that, Stage 3 is elite selection. The absolute top 1% get into the full program, and the top 10% are identified as potential support staff, helping build out the venture teams. It's very meritocratic. Once they're selected, the entrepreneurs go into this 6-month intense development program, first 3 months, all about building the foundation, curriculum work, getting skilled up with those AI workforce tools we talked about, deep market research, and nailing their investor pitch.
And the second half is putting theory into practice, building the actual business.
Precisely. Months 4 to 6 are focused squarely on business development. This means full support for company formation, using alliance tools for rapid prototyping. Help with initial customer acquisition. They mention access to a 42+ million user marketplace, which sounds like a significant built-in advantage, and then formal market validation. The whole philosophy is shifting from just creating job seekers to actively cultivating job creators in these regions.
It really sounds like this is deeply embedded in national development plans. How does it actually mesh with governments beyond just signing the initial partnership? Aligning all those goals must be complex.
It's designed as a very comprehensive public-private partnership, or PPP. The idea is to engage multiple government ministries simultaneously, ensure real strategic alignment. So they're targeting, say, the Ministry of ICT or Technology for the digital transformation angle, Ministry of Education for updating curriculums, improving graduate outcomes, Ministry of Development or Economic Affairs for diversification, attracting foreign investment, and, very importantly, the Ministry of Labor or Employment. They position this as a potential definitive solution to youth unemployment by, again, creating job creators. You're right, aligning across all those different ministries in each country, that's a huge coordination challenge. Their success will definitely hinge on making that work smoothly.
Yeah, that makes sense. It really frames the alliance as a strategic national tool, not just another incubator program. Looking down the road, what's the long-term plan, the trajectory?
They've laid out a 5-year growth strategy in 3 phases. Pretty methodical. Year 1 is all about foundation and proof of concept, getting the first few deployments up and running, proving the model works. Years 2 and 3 are slated for rapid expansion. The goal here is to achieve continental coverage, really scale it out. And then years 4 and 5 are focused on market leadership and dominance, aiming for comprehensive coverage across the global south, hitting that 10,000-plus graduate target, and generating over $1 billion in annual revenue. This is where they talk about becoming a unicorn factory, systematically producing these billion-dollar AI companies from within the global south ecosystem.
A unicorn factory. That's quite a statement. An aggressive path, but potentially transformative if they pull it off. And I assume they plan to keep evolving the tech side, too, to stay ahead.
Yes, the sources mentioned continuous platform innovation, integrating more advanced AI. That's key to maintaining a competitive edge for the whole network.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening? Maybe you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a policymaker, or just curious about tech's global impact. The EON Wealth Weaver Alliance is, well, it's a massive, heavily funded bet on changing the map of innovation, trying to ensure the benefits of AI entrepreneurship spread across the global south, not just stay in the usual places.
Absolutely. With the kind of capital access they're talking about, these sovereign partnerships that democratize AI tools, it really does challenge the status quo. At least this is a pretty big question, doesn't it? Could this model, this democratic AI entrepreneurship backed by sovereign wealth, all integrated, could it actually set a new standard for how emerging markets can lead and develop sustainably in this intelligence age? Could it genuinely shift the global balance of innovation power?
It certainly gives us a lot to ponder, and definitely an initiative to keep a close eye on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. As always, we encourage you to think about the potential here, but also the complexities involved in such a huge undertaking. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep making those connections.